We're here at Winton Raceway in regional Victoria. It's about -3 degrees at the moment, hence the 10 layers of clothing. But we're here to look at the Kawasaki Insurance's Ninja FX300 Cup. It's an inexpensive entry sort of level class of racing. We're going to show you some of the racing and we're going to meet some of the people involved. Now I'm here with Murray Sale from Kawasaki Australia. Now Murray's one of the movers and shakers of the Kawasaki Insurance's Ninja FX300 Cup. It's a bit of a mouthful, but the series has been pretty popular. So Murray, tell us a little bit about why Kawasaki's keen to be involved and a little bit about the what people can do to the bikes themselves.
Okay, well we're involved because we want to see people have fun, and the Ninja 300 is a perfect example of a bike to ride when you want to have fun. Now it's an economical bike, road racing with a minimal outlay when compared to other classes that are in road racing. So it's a great stepping stone between other branches of the sport, or if you just want to go road racing, you want to test the water, find out what it's like, the Ninja 300 is a perfect bike to try road racing with. It offers plenty of performance and very competitive racing.
What can people do to the bike? I mean, they're pretty standard, aren't they?
Yes, the concept with the series was to not have too much engine work, absolutely zero in fact, and standard ECUs, so no reflashing of ECUs, and simple modifications like putting a exhaust system on it, but the exhaust system has to be a low-cost version, so it can't be a titanium exhaust system. It has to be just stainless steel or any other materials you've got, but it can't be a titanium one, so that reduces the cost to the competitors. And we've allowed to change the rear shock to an aftermarket shock, and also to change the front suspension, so you can change the valving and the spring rate in the front suspension. The brakes, you can change the brake pad and the brake lines. So that's one of the other characteristics. We're using standard wheels, the tyres are open brand wise, but there's a couple of 3 brands that are involved with bikes on the grid, and it's fairly competitive between 2 of those brands, which one's better than the other, but there's no clear differences where everybody's on one brand of tyres, so there's still a bit of a tyre battle going on with the bikes.
So with the exhaust modifications, you can also put a fueling device on there. Is that right?
Yes, there's a couple of brands of fueling device. Bazaz is one and Power Command is the other, and we're allowing people to put that on the bike to tune the fueling system to match the exhaust system you put on the bike. So we're trying to cut out people spending zillions of dollars on dynos and paying somebody to super tune their bike. We're trying to keep it as low cost as possible. So with some of them have got auto tuning functions, so you can put an oxygen sensor on the bike and then create a map and then use that map to get the best performance of the bike. With a standard engine, one of the surprising factors is that it gets best performance with the 91 octane fuel. So that's another cost saving for the competitor. It's just 91 regular unleaded fuel. Simple as that. Puts out the best power.
Okay, well thanks Murray. We're going to have a look at over the weekend some of the racing with this series and have a chat to some of the people involved. Now on face value, an entry level class of racing is normally thought of something that only young riders will get into before going on to bigger and faster machinery, but it's not really the case. There's quite a few older people involved too, riders that have quite experienced, or maybe people that have come late to racing, and they see it as just a fun class, inexpensive. You don't have big tyre bills. The bikes are a cheaper buy, and it's seen very much as a fun level of racing. Now Sophie Lovett is no newcomer to road racing, and Sophie, you've ridden lots of different bikes, Ducatis, ZX10R. Now you're also on the Ninja 300 this weekend. Now you've been racing it all season?
Yeah, so this is the first time to Winton Raceway on the ZX10 and the Ninja 300. So previously I was here about 3 years ago on the KTM RC8. So on the 300 in the FX Cup, it's a great opportunity for people new to racing to come in an affordable sort of a class, and it's really competitive and teach you a lot of racecraft. So it's really exciting to be here.
So you're having fun riding it?
Yeah, last time at Queensland Raceway it was very competitive. We had 5 of us going into each of the turns, so yesterday was sort of warming up to what sort of capabilities other people had around the track and pushing in certain spots. So hopefully we'll have a good 3 or 4 people wide going into a couple of the turns.
Now, after getting off the ZX10R, you jump on the little 300 and you thought it was just ringing its neck?
No, not so much. I don't really notice it. I've got a race in between, and it's a 10-lapper with the Super Sport, so it's a good opportunity to sort of sit down and refocus and go back out on the 300. And I don't even know where I'm changing gears on the ZX10 when I'm on the 300, because it's such a different riding position, and it's a lot of gear changes and it's a lot of different braking points, but it's been okay. But I just need to try harder, so I'm up there with the front guys.
And there's quite a cross range of ages and experience levels out there in this class, isn't there?
Yeah, it's really great. So you've got Paul Young out there as well, and he's just mixing it up. And then we've got the Demarys and we've got the New Zealand guys, and yeah, it's a really good different age groups. And you've got the young, the old, and we're all out there and we're all pushing hard, and yeah, it's great.
Okay, well, good luck for today.
Thank you.
My name's Phil Burke and I ride for BC Performance.
Now, Phil, you're an older guy. You're on the 300. What's your racing sort of background?
I've raced a lot of things. Like when I was young, before Kids and Mortgages, I raced super bikes a little bit back in the 80s, and then a few production bikes, and the last sort of probably 10 years, 400s, and I had a ride a few years ago in the FZ6 Cup when they were running it, so I've ridden quite a few different things. Not particularly well, but I've ridden them.
The Ninja 300 Cup, how does the fun factor rate compared to some of the other stuff you've done?
Oh, look, it is more fun because it's there's a wide range of people, ages, abilities, and all that sort of stuff. But it does make them some really close racing, and because they're not overly powerful, you know, you've really got to depend on how fast you can corner, how clean you are, how smooth you are. And as Di said a moment ago, I do think it actually helps your racing, and the fact that you learn how to do the little things right.
Okay, good luck today.
Thank you very much.
Now, Cycle Talk TV has been invited to ride the Kawasaki Motors Finance Ninja 300 in the Kawasaki Insurance's Ninja FX 300 Cup with the rider Alex Pickett on board. Now, Alex, it's a little bit of well, ups and downs over the weekend. So, what are your thoughts of the bike? And tell us a little bit about what's happened to you over the weekend.
Well, the bike has surprised me actually. It goes reasonably well for what it is and handles reasonably well as well. But we haven't had the best weekend so far. Like, we qualified alright, but yesterday in the third race had a big get off and dislocated my shoulder, which isn't what we want. And today went alright, qualified 7th, and in the first race got 7th, and in the second race got 4th. So pretty happy overall.
So what do you think of the series for young people to come through as a learning tool? I mean, you've started on smaller capacity bikes yourself when you were younger, but also from the point of view of someone like yourself, it's quite a big experience now for the fun factor.
Yeah, well, it's definitely good for like kids coming up through dirt track and stuff like that. Like, they're similar power to a 254 stroke, so it's not like a massive step to a 600, and it's not a big experience. It just brings the fun back into the sport, really. Like, you can have a laugh while you're riding without taking it too serious.
Well, that's good. So we podium next race, or the last race, or first?
Oh, I'd like to get a podium, but let's see what happens first.
So I'm with Kyle Buckley from BC Performance, and Kyle's also riding the Ninja 300. And Kyle, I've known you for a few years now, you know, from the junior days, but you've also raced 600s. How do they compare, and why are you on a 300?
Well, for me, the cost of the 300 is obviously what brought me back. I like the 600s; they're fast and no room for error. I like that sort of racing, but I've mean, the 300 class, I didn't expect a whole heap, but stepping down to it, it's definitely impressed. It's more competition than I ever could have imagined, and yeah, I'm loving it.
Now, it's pretty full on at the front end, isn't it? It sort of takes you back to the little CBR 150 days.
No, exactly. I mean, there's 4 or 5 of us up the front, and there's no difference in between us. It's just all whoever can get to the line first. And been throwing guys like Paul Young in there. You know, he's a very experienced rider, and he said he knows what he's doing. So, I mean, yeah, I love it.
Now, there's a couple of rounds to go. Where do you sit in the championship?
With 3 down now, I think I'm second. With got about 5 points behind the leader. So, got to try and play my cards right and see if I can catch up to him this round. And obviously over the next couple of rounds, just stay on board as well, because up in Queensland I had a bit of trouble, but you know, just have to see what happens.
Hey, I'm here with Di Jones from BC Performance. Now, Di, you're riding the FX 300 Cup or Ninja 300. What attracts you to this class?
Good platform to learn how to ride.
Yep.
Racing is not something that came naturally to me. Started off on thousands, had no idea how to ride them. So coming back to the 300s to try and learn, you know, technique, understand suspension, you know, get your consistency out in lap times. So they're a good package to teach you when you make a mistake, you pay for it. So it's about learning to be consistent and put the head down and bum up and go for it.